avoid a midair collision with a B52 bomber. Let's bring in ABC's Mola Lange at Dulles International Airport tonight.
This guy on a green screen? Anyway, it looks that way. But anyway, keep in mind, aggressive maneuvers could sometimes also just be like normal flights. Like sometimes, you know, you're climbing through an altitude and you're at, you know, I don't know, 10,000 feet and you're climbing for 15 and all of a sudden ATC's like, actually hold altitude and you level off. You know, people think like, oh, because you get that weird feeling in your tummy. It's like, oh, that's aggressive. It's like, ah. So, I mean, let's listen to it. I haven't listened to the details of it.
Well, what are you learning about this incident?
Well, Lindsay, as you said, an incredibly scary moment in the air, the pilot having to make what he described as an aggressive maneuver in order to avoid that midair collision.
All right, well, I mean, the pilot mentioned it, so I'm more inclined to believe that than the mainstream.
Now, as this Delta flight approached its landing at Minot, North Dakota airport, a B-52 bomber unexpectedly entered the flight path, according to the pilot. Now, we should note that Minot is home to an Air Force.
One of the things that pisses me off about a lot of the military aircraft is that they don't necessarily have transponders on. Like some of them aren't even equipped with them. And even if they're equipped with them, they don't necessarily always turn them on, which I think is terrible because I fly around Camarillo, California a lot because it's home base. And we have a lot of Point Mugu traffic, air traffic, you know, military traffic. And I see them flying around all the time without transponders. And I'm like, this is dangerous. Like, you're not showing up as traffic for me. You're invisible. So the only way I could see you is looking outside, which sounds basic as a car driver, but flying a plane, it's a lot harder, especially during, you know, the rapid events of a takeoff or landing, which are the most dangerous phases of flight. So this is also likely a contributor to what caused the Washington, D.C. helicopter versus airliner crash that killed so many people. The lack of mandatory transponder use. Like, equip these damn planes with transponders. That does piss me off.
Base near the commercial airport, but the pilot later telling his passengers that he was never given any sort of warning by air traffic controllers.
Yeah, it's freaking invisible. Although air traffic control can have radars that basically try to pick up traffic and then send a signal out of traffic that there's traffic somewhere without relying on the plane actually transponding its location, like transmitting its location. But I just think it's shocking that in this day and age you would have aircraft fly, without signaling their location. Like, if you're going into combat in Iran, are you gonna have your transponder on? No, obviously. If I fly over Iran, I'm turning my transponder off too. It's not that hard. I push one button and I disappear. But it's very, very dangerous.
About the B-52's location. Once on the ground, the pilot apologizing to passengers about the close call, essentially telling them, nobody told us we had company up here, and that, quote, this is not normal. Now, there were no reported injuries, fortunately, but of course, we're only 6 months removed from that deadly mid-air collision at Reagan National Airport.
That's the one he's talking about. Now, I don't know if he's talking about, I mean, I think he's bringing this up because it's military versus regional again. Here's another one that shows, I think, the clip that's kind of going viral on it. I mostly think this is just another reiteration that we need transponders on military aircraft and that an aggressive maneuver usually just isn't a big deal. Like a pilot, imputing controls left, right, or what, it's generally not a big deal. But let's see the actual viral video.
Passengers aboard a Delta flight were jarred when the pilot made an aggressive maneuver to avoid a mid-air collision with a
Bro, are you not listening? Somebody in the chat's like, transponders bad for the military. Allowing the enemy to know where you are during war is a very bad thing. Bro, that's literally what I just said. If I'm flying over Iran, I'm gonna have the obviously you push a button, you turn off. No shit, Sherlock. But you're flying in America, where we have passenger planes flying around, landing. This is stupid. No military plane should be flying around in unrestricted American airspace with their transponder off. Wake up, dude.
52 bomber. Here he is, apologizing for the sudden move.
Sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. This is not normal at all. I don't know why they didn't give us a heads up.
This happened on Friday on a flight out of Minneapolis operated by SkyWest. The plane was on approach to Minot, North Dakota, which is near an Air Force base. The pilot told passengers he was cleared to land by the tower, and the Air Force never gave any warning about the bomber's presence. The Air Force has not commented, but SkyWest did release a statement saying SkyWest Flight 3788, operating as Delta Connection from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Minot, North Dakota, landed safely in Minot.
And again, aggressive maneuvers, like we could do aggressive maneuvers on these aircraft. It's like you want your pilot to move aggressively. It's gonna feel weird, but I promise you, your pilot moving aggressively is a good sign. You don't want like weird funky sounds. The plane moving is totally normal. I mean, here's just an example of like a pusher stall, for example. And just look at my horizon right here. I'm pulling up about like what, 10 degrees here, I think. You'll hear stall in just a moment. You'll see my airspeed move down here. And so we're at 6,800 feet right now. I was trying to hold 6,900 for the lulls. But anyway, I'm pitching up rapidly here, and you'll see an aggressive maneuver because we're, this is gonna break the horizon here. We're about to get our stall warning.
Stall.
And then you'll see the pusher action,
Stall.
I think after,
Stall.
in this case, 4 times because I didn't pull back hard enough.
Stall.
This will fly
Stall.
forward.
Stall.
Come on. 5.
Stall.
There it is. And it pushes the plane rapidly forward. I mean, we lose 20 degrees of bank right here, or not of bank, 20 degrees of pitch right here, and it's aggressive. You're gonna feel nauseous in the back if you go through that, right? Like, it's a weird feeling, but it's totally fine. Like, these aircraft maneuver great. I love maneuvering these aircraft. And they're so powerful, these jet aircraft. You could do such wonderful things. Even, a balked landing. You're coming into land and you just, break through the clouds, whatever. You break through the clouds here, coming into land. I'll show you a balked landing if you want. This is coming into Santa Barbara. And it's basically right by the captain's bars, 50 feet above. We're just going full power. And you're taking off again, which is also a very weird and aggressive feeling for passengers, but like safe. So generally maneuvers, banking, even like stalls or whatever, these maneuvers, the aircraft are very, very maneuverable on purpose. Like, they're designed for this kind of stuff. As far as that, not worried about that. But traffic, mid-air collisions, very real problem. And the fact that there are planes out there that are invisible is ridiculous to me. Mind you also, just so you know, like what we see when we're flying, yesterday, well, let me see if I can get us a nice up close. So when we're flying, this is, let's do Bitch and Betty here. I've got a clip of Bitch and Betty, and I want you to see what our traffic can look like. So me, when I fly, excuse the cable right here, there are a few ways you could see traffic. Most people are gonna just use the center map right here for their traffic. But what I actually use as well is this traffic map on the left, just because I can, at a glance or out of the corner of my eye, really rapidly see where traffic is. When traffic gets within usually a mile or a minute of us, they'll start showing up as a yellow, like a big yellow icon that's in traffic. We'll start getting oral call outs. And then you can even get resolution advisories in the future as well. That is, if aircraft are so close that it looks like there's potentially a collision, you could get a resolution advisory, which might be, some form of audible alarm, and then climb, or like whoop whoop, descend is kind of how it goes, or whoop whoop, whatever. And it'll tell you like level off or whatever. It tells you exactly how to avoid colliding with another aircraft. And this doesn't work when you're too low to the ground, which is potentially one of the downsides of what happened in the Reagan situation. But if that helicopter did indeed have their transponder off in the Reagan situation, then at minimum, if they had it on, you would have seen them on the map. But right now, if there's a military aircraft here with their transponder off, they're invisible to me. I don't see it. Now, again, yeah, I could look out, but it's not as good as having them right here, because I'm, especially in weather, I'm paying attention to my instruments. So very frustrating, in my opinion. I mean, we actually, while we're coming into land over here, I think this was a Gulf. I think this is a Gulf airspace. I can't remember correctly. I'd have to look up for flight. But there was a glider landing, and the glider didn't have a transponder. Now, at least the glider is position reporting, right? Like, hey, you know, I'm final, I'm turning base to final, coming into the runway. Well, I can't remember what runway it is, but at least they're position reporting. In this case, this sort of like B52 example, they're saying, hey, we didn't even hear anybody on the radio that they're in the area. This is another big problem, because you're supposed to be communicating your location on the advisory frequency for the area if this is an untowered airport. But the military is probably on their digital military, frequencies, and they're invisible. So
why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.